Hello everybody, good day and welcome to another episode of our video tutorial. This time we are going to talk about data flow diagram or DFD. Okay, so um, what are what is a DFD? Okay, as you can see in your screen, this DFD are pictorial representation of showing the flow of data into, around, and out of the system. Meaning to say, na paano ba pumasok yung data sa system, anong ginagawa niya inside system, and paano ba siya inilabas ng system. Ayan. Into, around, and out of the system. So, as the term implies, data flow, it represents or it shows the flow of data. Okay. So why are we going to draw DFD? Bakit? Okay? Number one is to show the information that enters, yung pumasok at lumabas sa system. So, by using DFD, makikita natin paano pumasok yung data inside the system and paano lumabas. Okay? Number two is to show the people what are the rules and other systems who generate or receive that information. So using data flow, we can see people who uses those data, saan nanggaling yung data, kanino nanggaling yung data, tapos uh, saan patungo yung data. So pag pumasok na siya sa system, anong ginagawa niya doon, sino ang nag-generate, yan, sino ang tumatanggap from the outside to the system. Then, palabas sa system. Sino ang, or ano ang ginagawa niya sa labas ng system at sino ang nakatanggap. Ayan. Okay. Well, anyway, I can explain this much further pag meron akong ipinapakita sa inyo how are you going to draw the DFD pag actual na. Then, we have here to show the processes that occur, anong proseso ang nangyayari inside the system using those data that enters. Okay? Then, to show the information that is stored. Okay, yung ano ba yung naka-store na data sa ating database. Okay, sa system mismo. To show the boundary of the system indicating what is and what is not included. Okay, using the DFD also, we can see the scope and limitation of the system. Scope, kung ano ba ang andun sa kanya and ano ba ang wala rin sa kanya. Ayan. Okay. Then, the DFDs are used to, ginagamit siya para discuss with the user, diagrammatic representation, meaning to say diagram, meaning to say pictorial representation of the processes in the system. Okay, makikita talaga kung paano pumasok yung data. Okay, anyway, you can analyze those data using the diagram. Okay, then determine what the new system should be able to do, kung ano ba kakayanan ng system at ano ba ang hindi, and what information is required for each different process that should be carried out. So ano bang mga iba't ibang mga proseso na ginagamit para maka-generate ng information. Then check that the completed system conforms to its intended design. Yan. So there are two main types of DFD notations na ginagamit. Yung kay Jordan and Kuan. Okay, these are engineer people that created the different notations in DFD. So, number one is the Jordan and Kuan. Second is the Gain and Sarson. So, ang ginagamit natin ay yung mga notations from Gain and Sarson. So, we have here a comparison between Jordan and Kuan. So, you don't add ito, yung sa right, sa left is kay gain and sum. So, these are the symbols that we're going to use. Actually, once we're going to draw a DFD, then we're going, since draw, the term itself is draw, so therefore, we're going to design, create. Okay, so, we're going to use symbols. Okay, sa pagdodraw natin ng DFD. So, we have here what we call process. Kay gain and Sarson, ito yung itsura. And this is the image from, or the symbol from Jordan and Kuan. All of these are what we call processes. So as you can see, as we're going to compare, if we're going to compare, yung kay Jordan and Kuan is something like a circle, yung process nila. Tapos, sa kay Gain and Sarson, um, rounded rectangle. Ayan. Okay? Then we have here the data store. Kay Gian and Sarson, rounded pa rin. Kay Theodore and Quad, still parang rounded rin. Pero mayroong kaibahan para kay Gian and Sarson. Then we have here, for the entity, external entity, they are the same. Okay? And for data flow, they are also the same. They only differ with the process and the data store. Yan. So, these are the examples of Jordan and coadditive examples. Okay, ito. So, nandito yung um, entity. Then, these are the processes. These are the data flows here. Then, these are the data stores. Yeah. For the gain and Sarson samples, ayan. So, we have here the entities located at the left side. Ayan. Then, this is the entire DFD, by the way. This is the entire DFD. Then, on the left side of the DFD, we have here all of the entities are located. Using the gain and Sarson method, usually, yung entity nila is located at the left side. Then, all of their processes are located at the center here. And then, their data stores are located at the right side here. Okay. Then something in common with the two is the labeling. Okay, merong label. Every symbol that you're going to use, there should be a label. So ganito rin sa um, Yordon. Same way with the Yin and Sarson. Yan. So we have here the components of DFD. Okay, number one is entities. So, as what I've told you, ganito yung itsura. Ayan, entity. These are examples of entity. Okay. Then, ang entity, it represents the source of data that enters the system or the recipient of data that leaves the system. Ayan. So, ang entity daw, it represents the source. Siya yung source of data or siya rin yung recipient of data. Sa kanya nang galing, source of data, or pwede rin na siya ang makakatanggap ng data, recipient of the data. Example here, we have here a student. Possibly siya yung source of data or siya yung makakatanggap ng data at the same time. We have here instructor also, we have here hotel, and we have here pet. Yan. So these are examples of an entity. I'm going to explain this later after I'm going to introduce to you all of the um, symbols that we're going to use. Okay. Meron pa kasi yung mga rules and regulations regarding these symbols. Ayan. Then we have here, number 2 is the process. Okay. Ang process represents activities in which data is manipulated. Okay. So we have here the process symbol. Ganitong process symbol. Okay. So in this symbol, we label this one here. This is what we call the process door. Dito. Then we have here the process name, dito. Then we have here also the process identifier, dito rin yan. So, one example is the um, process number 1.2. Anong ginagawa? Okay, create student account. Sinong gumagawa? It is the registrar. Ayan. Registrar's office. Process number 3.3. Anong ginagawa? Computes the payment. Sinong gumagawa? Or saan ginawa? It is the cashier. Ayan. Then, another one is process 1.0. Process number 1.0. Sinong gumagawa? Ang din. Ano ang ginagawa? Evaluates the grades. Okay. Now, one more thing. You can... Sino ba ang naglagay ng process number? It is you, it is us who created the DFD. Okay? So, it depends upon the... It should be a sequence, by the way. Okay? So, I'm just giving you example. Process number 1.2. Okay? Later, I'm going to demonstrate to you how are you going to draw DFD and how are you going to number those processes. How are you going to name those processes and what are you going to do with those processes? Okay. One more thing is that this is a process number and this is the doer of the action at ito ang kanilang ginagawa. So here, okay, ang ilalagay mo dito, it should be a proper noun. Proper noun. Then this one here, ang ilalagay mo dito are all action words. Example here, we have a registrar. That is a proper noun. Okay? We have here the cashier. We have here the dean. Okay? It should be a noun. Okay? Then, anong ginagawa? Create student record. This one here, what you're going to write here, to input here, are all action words. Okay? Create. Anong kini-create? Student record. Sinong gumagawa? It is the registrar. Anong ginagawa dito? Compute. Anong kini-compute? The payment. So, sinong nagko-compute? It is the cashier. Yan. So, dito, anong ginagawa? Evaluates. Anong evaluate? Grades. Sinong gumagawa? It is the dean. Ayan. So, those are examples of process. Ayan. Then, another one is what we call the data store. Okay, data store, it represents storage. Dito, inimbak yung mga data na galing sa system. Ayan. So, we have here labels, something like this one here, data store description, and this one here, data store identifier. Okay. Pangalan ng data store, then anong number niya. Ayan. Example here, we have here D1. Okay, database, siguro in short, we call this database 1 or D1. Anong andito? Are all invoices. We have here D2. Okay, anong andito? Customers. So, here, in D2, I presume that all of the data from the customers are stored here. Yan. Then here, we have another 1 or D1 or 1 lang alone. Pangalan niya is student. So, in this database, all of the names of students are stored. All of the data from the students are stored. Okay. Then we have here D3. Okay, D3. Anong andito sa D3? Products. Name of products. Okay. Example, noodles or soap or shall we say milk. All of the name of the products are stored here. Then we have your clients, A1, database 1 or A1 yung pangalan, number niya. Tapos, andito are all the name of the clients. Kung meron kang negosyo, meron kang kliyente. Ayan. Then we have here number 2, instructor. So, in database 2, ang nakalagay dito are all the data from the instructor, their names, addresses, and whatever. Yan, so on and so forth. Okay. So those are examples of data store. Then we have here the data flow. Okay, data flow represents the movement of the data. So yung data flow, it is an arrow. So kung saan ano yung arrow, din doon siya patungo. Ayan, represents the movement. So we have here yung symbol niya is ganito, tapos mayroong name o data. Tapos kung saan siya naka-face, yun ang direction niya. Yan. So we have an example. Okay, students information. And doon patungo. Ang receipt, dito patungo. Ang payment, doon patungo. Pwede rin pa itaas, pwede rin pa baba. Ayan. So, yan. Anyway, I'm going to explain much further after this. All of these symbols that we used. Example on how to draw DFD. We have here example. Customer. Yung customer, nag-place siya ng order. Tapos, binigay niya sa entry clerk. So, yung entry clerk, nag-edit ng order. Tapos, check ng entry clerk kung yung order ng customer available ba dito. That's why yung arrow from here down to the left, availability of information, kung in order ng customer available ba. Okay, so if the order of the customer is available, then ipinapasa ng entry clerk, sinisave ng entry clerk yung valid order ng customer dito sa customer's order na database. Ayan, so pagpatunta doon. And then, yung shipping clerk naman, yung shipping clerk, siya yung nag-check kung mayroon bang orders here. So, order details, check niya dito sa database. Order details, ayan, papunta sa kanya. Then, after that, since this is a valid order kasi merong stocks na product, so that's why yung shipping clerk naman, nag-check yung i-check niyo yung schedule, availability of schedule on when are they going to send these products to this customer. So, check niya yung shipping times and dates in this database. Another database here. And then, so si shipping clerk nag-gather shipment products. Gina-gather niya yung mga shipment products. Tapos, sinesend niya yung shipping details, i-save niya dito sa products. Okay? And after that, so yung mga details sa shipment na nakasave na dito sa database tree, which is the product. And then, yung shipping information, ipinapasa niya dito sa another shipping clerk. Okay? Another process. Nag-issue na siya ng invoices. Tapos, kinuha niya yung customer name and address sa customer information na database. And then, nagsisend siya ng invoice. Tapos, yung invoice mismo, binigyan niya sa customer. Okay? So, yan. These are just an example. Anyway, meron pang, kulang pa itong example na to is, meron pang kulang, hindi pa to kompleto actually. This is just a mere example on how you going to draw a DFD. Ayan. Now, we have here correct and incorrect examples of data flow. Correct. Ano bang correct? Ano bang pwede? How are you going to draw a DFD in a correct way? O ano bang hindi pwede? Okay. So, right now, I'm going to use a software for making DFD. Okay, gagamit ako ng software para paggawa ng DFD. Okay ha? So what I've been using until now is what we call the, wait, saan ba yun? Ayan. Visual paradigm na software. This is just a trial version kasi wala akong pambili ng software eh. So, it gives me 30 days of using the trial version. So, that is enough for me. So, again, I'm going to use Visual Paradigm to make DFD, to draw a DFD. So, here, as you can see, this is the interface of the Visual Paradigm. So, I'm going to select here, among these tabs here, I'm going to select System Design because andito yung DFD. So, yan. I-click ko to. Ayan. So, here, it gives you a list of tools that you can use. Tools. One of the tools is the DFD or data flow diagram. And I'm going to click this one. We need to say I'm going to make a DFD. Yan. So, blank lang. Tapos, next, I'm going to name this sample DFD. Ayan. then location. Never mind as location. Actually, you can change the location here kung saan mo ba isi-save. Anyway, I'm going to leave it as it is in the root. Then click OK. Ayan. So just wait for a while. Ayan. Cross ko to. Okay. So here, this is the a blank document for making DFD. So in the left side, we have here the um, symbols that we're going to use, the process, external entity, data store, data flow, okay, bidirectional data flow, ayan, inflow and outflow. So most probably we're going to use this for here. Okay, ayan. So, what are the correct way of creating a DFD? So the correct way is, example here, we have here the process to process. Ayan. So once you're going to use a process, ayan. Okay, this is process number 1. Then I'm going to click again another process. This is process number 2. Ayan. Now, if I'm going to connect these two together using the data flow, ayan, i-connect ko to dito, yan, connect, connect, connect. That's okay. That is allowable. Process to process. Pwede yan. Then we have here again, process to entity. So I'm going to use an entity here, external entity. Yan, ilagay ko dito. Yan. So if I'm going to connect these two together, entity to process, ayan, that's okay, that's allowable. Entity to process or process to entity, again, that is allowable. Here, yung kanina, process to process, pwede. Pwede lang ganyan. Yan, pwede. Okay, it is allowable. Or, the third one is process to data store. Okay, process to data store. Here, we have here data store. I'm going to place it here. Ayan. So, if I'm going to connect this process to data store, that is allowable. That's okay. Or if I'm going to connect this data store to process, again, that is allowable. That is okay. So, pwede yan. Now, how about the incorrect? Yung hindi tama. Incorrect. So, we have here entity to entity. Okay, assuming I'm going to have here another entity, I'm going to place it here. Ayan. So, if I'm going to connect this entity to another entity using data flow, that's not possible. Hindi siya pwede. Okay, that's not possible. Or, entity to data store. Entity to data store. Assuming I have here a data store. Okay. Ilalagay ko dito. Or, yan. So, this is a data store. This is an entity. I'm going to connect these two here. Hindi rin pwede. Okay. Or if I'm going to connect this one here directly, hindi rin pwede. Because entity and data store cannot be connected together. Yan. Bawal yan. So, another one. Data store to data store. Hindi rin pwede. Direct. Magkukonect yung another data store to another data store. Connect ko to dito. Hindi rin pwede. Yan. That's the rulings of the DFD. Don't, never mind kung bakit. Because it is what it should be. Yan. Okay. So, yan. So, once you're going to draw a DFD, you have to remember this correct and incorrect examples. Ayan. So, guidelines. We have your guidelines for drawing DFDs. Okay. This one is optional. You're going to make an algorithm after the DFD. Okay, this one is optional. Actually, it is helpful for me once I'm going to draw a DFD, especially if it is that complicated. Pag complicated yung system, it is very useful. But as what I've told you, it is optional. Number 2 is the first that's the first one. Second one is, once you're going to draw a DFD, you should start with a context diagram. Doon ka magsisimula. Okay? Draw the context diagram. So, and then yung contextual diagram, it should fit in one page. One page lang. Okay? Then, use the name of the information system as the process name and the context diagram. So, assuming you have a system named SMS or school management system, or you have a system named inventory system, or you have a system named payroll system. So all of those names, kung ano man ang system na ginagamit mo, whatever it is, yun ang ilalagay mo na pangalan sa yung contextual diagram. Anyway, again, I'm going to show you how. Then number 4, we have you use unique names within its symbols. We need to say unique, walang kapareha. So, example, you have here an entity named instructor. Then, another entity named here also an instructor. That should not be. Kung meron talagang dalawang instructor, then name it instructor 1, instructor 2. Ayan. Pero in most cases, walang ganon. Okay. Then, do not cross lines. Actually, pwede rin, pero meron kang gagawin. Cross lines. Then we have here provide a unique name and reference number for each. When you say unique again, unique name, walang kapareha, as what I've told you. Information system, unique, unique name within its symbols, unique name din para sa mga reference number. Kung sa, in every symbol, if you're going to name them, of course you are going to name them, it should be unique. And also with the reference numbers. It should be unique also. Obtain as much as user input and feedback as possible. Okay, yan. Then we have your naming guidelines. Okay. Once you're going to name an entity, it should be noun, not proper noun. Okay, ha? Again, once you're going to name an entity, it should be noun. It should not be proper noun. In my examples here, sa entity, yan ito, entity. You're going to name, you're going to label. And every symbol that you're going to use, may it be entity, may it be process, may it be data flow, data flow, may it be a data storage, you should label it. There should be a name, and you should label it. Okay? Now, in entity, once you're going to label it, it should be a noun, not proper. When you say proper, yung totoong pangalan. Example, Alex. For example, Sharon, or something like that, no? As a student. So, sa estudyante, ano bang pangalan ng estudyante? Should be Alex, maybe, or Sharon, or Mary June. Okay? That should not be. Okay? Huwag mo ilagay dito ang pangalan na Alex since Alex is a student. No. Hindi pwede. Huwag mo ilagay dito ang Piolo since Piolo is a student. No. Just since these persons are student, then ilagay mo dito is only a student. Instructor here. Huwag mo ilagay na yung pangalan talaga ng instructors nyo. Example, Sir Novo. Wag ganyan. Okay, that should not be. Okay. Or, Ma'am MJ. Hindi, kasi these are what we call proper nouns. So, if you're referring to your teachers, then ilagay nyo dito is teacher. Or if you're referring to your instructors, then it's lagay na dito is instructor. Kanya lang. Not their real names. Okay. Then we have here hotel. Okay. Example here is hotel. Ang hotel, it is a place. By the way, it is a place. So, once you're going to name an entity, by the way, you're going to name it as a person. Okay. Pwede ilagay nyo dito as a person. Ito lang. Person. Something like yung student, instructor. These are what we call person. Instructor. Yan. Next is place. It could be a place. Something like hotel. Or park. Yan. Or airport. Yan. These are examples of places. Okay. It could be animals or pet. Animals. Animals. Yan. Could be uh, dog or cat or shall we say mouse. Yan. These are examples of animals or events. Shall we say typhoon or shall we say birthday. Ayan. Or shall we say anniversary. Okay. So these are examples of naming an entity. Ayan ha. So, ang person, pwede ha, pwede, kasi ito, ang hindi pwede, not okay, simple, Mark, or Joseph, yan, or Cindy, yan, not okay. Ang okay is, yan. So, student, instructor, should say doctor, or nurse, or priest, yan. Examples. These are examples. Yan. Then, place. Examples for the okay. Yan. Not okay. We have here the Rizal Park, Mandarin Hotel, or Bangkasi Airport. Yan. Then animals or dog, cat, mouse, these are okay. Okay. Garfield. Garfield Brownie. Yan. Tom, Jerry. Yan. Events. iPhone, birthday, anniversary, or not, you're not okay. Shall we say Yolanda, typhoon, or birthday, or Crisis anniversary. Hindi, ito yung hindi. Okay, ayan. So, sa events. Okay. So, once you're going to name an entity, to label an entity, again, it could be in a form of a person, something like a student or instructor or doctor or nurse, or it could be in a form of a place. Example here, hotel, park, airport, or any other places as long as it is not a proper noun. Then it could be an animal. Example here, dog, cat, or mouse. Ayan. Or it could be in a form of an event, something like typhoon or birthday or anniversary. Ayan. So, yun ang ilagay nyo dito sa inyong entity. Ayan. Then, aside from that, what are the other guidelines? Wait. Okay. So, again, ayan. Here, data flow. So, sa data flow, it should be the name of the data. Ayan. So, sa data flow, mayroon kayong ilalagay, by the way, here. Yung arrow, yan. Okay. So, yung arrow, you are going to label here what are the data na tina-travel ng arrow from the customer to the entry clerk. Okay ha? In this example. So, in this example, merong arrow. Okay? Taken from customer to entry clerk. So, yung arrow, meron siyang dinadala. Okay? Taken from customer papunta sa entry clerk. So, yung dinadala ng arrow is what we call the orders of the customer. Ayan na, yung in-order ng customer. Ano bang in-order ng customer? Maybe, we don't know. As long as there is an order. So, it should be, yung sa arrow, ganito, yung sa arrow, it should be in a form of a document. Okay, sa arrow. Saan na yung arrow? Okay, yung example natin. Okay. Yung sa arrow, yung sa data flow, examples, ayan, here. Sa arrow, yung dinideliver niya, it should be in a form of a number one. It could be a document. Sample, receipt, grades, students information, or list of student. Okay. Then, or exam result, or customer detail. Ayan. Okay. Number 2, it could be in a form of a product. Ano lang, yung money. Ayan. Here, in our example, we have here the payment or change. Ayan. And then, it could be in a form of a product. Shall we say noodles? Or shall we say milk? Or shall we say rice? As long as it is a product. Okay, so yung ilalagay nyo dito sa data flow, it could be in a form of a document, something like this, students information. Ayan, papunta doon. It could be grades, papunta rin doon. It could be list of students. It could be papunta rin doon. Or it could be a receipt. Dito na papunta. Okay? By the way, this is just an example. It doesn't necessarily mean pag students information talaga papunta doon. Okay? To the right. Na pag grades talaga papunta talaga sa right. No. This is just an example wherein Yung grades pwedeng papunta dito, papunta sa itaas, pababa, o pa dito. As long as it doesn't really matter actually. It depends upon your where are you going to, where are your grades going to. Ayan. Okay. So, once you're going to draw an data flow, again it should be in a form of a document. Document, we need to say receipt, grades. Now, these are just an example. It could be in a form of money, payment, yung, or change, or check, cheque, pwede na rin yun. Ayan. Or it could be in a form of product, yung mga noodles, milk, or rice. These are just example. Okay? So, pwede mong ilagay dyan. Okay? Product. Yan. Then, what else? Yung process, by the way. Process, it should be a verb phrase. Yung sa process, dito naman tayo sa process. Ayan, sana yung process? Okay, dito yung process. Okay, now here, in the process, andito, it should be, of course, process identifier kasi ito eh. So, it could be in a form of a letter, or it could be in a form of a number, or it could be alphanumeric. Ayan ha. Ang ilagay nyo dito, dito, or dito, it could be numeric, it could be alphanumeric, or it could be alphabet. Yan, or letters alone. Okay ha? So, 1.2, 1.3. In most cases, by the way, ang ilalagay dito are numbers. Yan. Then here, registrar, dito cashier, dean. Again, it should be a noun. Okay, noun ha. Let me clarify. Noun, 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 just like the entity. Okay, yung ilagay nyo dito, it should be a noun. So, ang ilagay nyo dito, anong klaseng noun? Here, in my example, ang inilagay ko dito is registrar because yung registrar ang nag-create, siya ang gumagawa ng student record. That's what the registrars do. That's why dito rin, ang ilalagay dito are all verb phrase. We need to say action word. Action. Action. Create. Okay, here. Ano ba ang action word dito? Create, compute, evaluates. All of those are action words. So here, in our first example, we use the word create. Tapos, ano ba ang kinikreate? Sino ba, or ano ba ang kinikreate? Student record. Ayan. So, create student record. Tapos, sino ang nagki-create? Sino? Who? It is the registrar. So, dito nyo ilagay kung sino ang gumagawa nito. Ayan. Then, we have here the cashier. Here, cashier. Anong ginagawa ng cashier? Nagko-compute siya ng payment. Siya ang nagko-compute ng payment. Okay, so here, another action word or verb, compute. Anong kino-compute? Payment. Sino nagko-compute? It is the cashier. Ayan. Then, other one here, evaluates the grades. Okay? Sino ang nag-evaluate? Dean. Ano ang in-evaluate? Grades. So, it's not sufficient nga evaluate lang. Or it's not sufficient that compute lang. There should be another information, additional information on anong kinikreate, anong kino-compute, anong in-evaluate. Ayan ha. So, that's how I'm going to label processes. Ayan. Then, another one here. Okay, data store here. In the data store, it should be, saan ba yung data store ko? Okay. This is example of data store. It should be, ang ilagay nyo dito is, it should be a noun. Just like what you're going to write here, it should be a noun, not proper noun. No, it should be a noun only. Example here, invoices. We have your customers, student. Yan. These are all nouns, but they are not proper noun. Huh? It's only a noun. Yan. So, Those are the ano ba yun? Guidelines for naming these symbols. Ayan. Then we have here the levels of DFD. Levels. Number one is contextual. So once you're going to draw a DFD, it is expected that it should go through different levels. The first level is the contextual diagram. That should be the first. Okay, once you're going to draw a DFD, there should be a contextual diagram. Okay, it is the top level. Then after the contextual diagram, in most cases, contextual diagram, it represents only one process in most cases. Okay. Then after that, if we are going to break the contextual diagram, then we come up with the another level, which is the diagram zero. Okay, diagram zero. It zooms in the system and shows major internal processes. Okay. Okay. So, pag i-break natin yung, if we're going to break the contextual diagram, then we come up with the diagram zero. So, ang diagram zero, it's composed of one or many processes. But still, these processes are generic. Okay, ha? Mas ano pa siya, malaki pa. Then after that, since yung levels diagram zero, yung mga process na nandun are all ano pa, malaki pa. We have to break those processes. Then we come up with the lower levels, just like level 1, level 2, so on and so forth. It depends kung pwede ba mabibreak ang mga levels na yon. Ayan, ang mga processes na yon. So ayan, so these are the pictorial representation, illustration. So we have here first the contextual diagram. Since as what I've told you, yung contextual diagram are very generic pa siya, general, over as a whole pa siya. So we're going to break this one. Then maybe you can come up with one process or two or three processes. Okay. Then each of those processes, assuming in level zero, we come up with only one process. In my example, in this example only. So if we are going to break this process level in level zero, then we could come up with level 1. So if we are going to break this process, maybe we can have three processes. After breaking this process here, na isa lang, after breaking this, maybe we can come up with three processes. Maybe again, it depends upon the system that you can currently do. Okay? So in this example, maybe after breaking this process here, maybe it can generate another three processes. So here, in these three processes are already in level 1. Itong process na to is in level 0 at ito is in contextual diagram. So whenever we're going to break this contextual diagram, we can come up with another processes na andun siya sa level 0. If we're going to break this process here, then maybe again we can come up with three processes. Now these three processes are in level 1. Okay? Then if we are going to break this first process in level 1, we have here three processes in level 1. Process 1, process 2, and process 3. All of these processes are in level 1. Now, if we're going to break this process 1, assuming it is still breakable, pwede pa siya i-break natin. So, if we're going to break this process 1, then after that, we come up with another three processes after breaking. So, here, we are going to name these three processes here. They are in level 2 already. So, we have here process 1.1, process 1.2, process 1.3. Why? Why process 1.1, 1.2, 1.3? It's because all of these three processes here came up from process 1. That's why process 1, process 1, process 1. So process 1.1, process 1.2, 1.3. Because process 1.1, 1.2.3, it's because they came with the process 1 dito. Then here, if we're going to break this process 2 here, then we can go down to level 2. Ito, yung na-generate natin. So, assuming yung process 2 here, pwede siya ma-break, pero isa lang ang process na pwede niya ma-break, then that's why we name it process 2.1. Bakit 2.1? Because yung 2, because nanggaling siya dito sa process 2. Here, in this third process in level 1, process 3 in level 1, if you're going to break this one, maybe you can come up with the two processes. So, ang pangalan niya is process 3.1 because galing siya sa process 3. Ang pangalawa is process 3.2 because again, galing siya sa process 3. So, all of these processes here uh, is in level 2 already. Now, assuming some of these processes, pag i-break natin, hindi na pwede. Example here, hindi na natin pwede i-break. So, it's okay. Pag hindi na pwede i-break, then that's fine. Okay? Now, in this case here, assuming itong process 1.1, hindi na pwede i-break. So, wala na tayong level 3. Yung process 1.2, hindi na pwede i-break. So, wala na tayong level 3 dito. Pero yung process 1.3, if ever po pwede pa, then we can come up with level 3. So, ang ipapangalan natin dito is 1.3.1. It's because 1.3 because galing siya sa process 1.3. Yeah. Bakit mayroong 1? Because this is the first process of the 1.3. Yan. The same thing here. If we can break this, then we can have our level 3. So, ang pangalan natin is 3.1.1. Ayan. Okay, because it came from process 3. Now, to demonstrate further, I'm going to draw it here. Ayan. Okay. Okay. So, we have here process. Ayan, contextual. Ayan. So, after breaking this contextual, we can come up with um, level 0, level 0, um, okay. Pwede ko connect natin yan dito. Ayan. Then, after that, if we are going to break level 0, maybe we can generate 3 processes as what my example. So, process 1, process 2, process 3. Ayan. So, we're going to connect all of this here. Connected yan, dyan. Then, connected dito. Then, connected dito. Ayan. Okay. So, here, magle-label na tayo. So, we're going to label here. This is gonna be process 1. So, dito natin ilalagay yung process 1. Ayan. So, process 1. And then, shall we say, maybe registrar. Maybe. This is just an example. Okay. Rar. Yan. Okay. So, this is gonna be process 1. Then, andito yung registrar, nag-enter na yung students. Then, for this second process, we're going to put it here to deans. Dean. Ano wait? Ditong dean. Tapos, anong ginagawa ng dean? Evaluate, interviewing. Yan. Okay. So, yan. So, this is process number 2 of level 1. So, another one here. Shall we say guidance Ano, ang guidance ito natin. Okay. Ah, yan. Guidance. Ano bang ginagawa ng guidance? Hmm, yan. Okay. So here, we have here, ito yung contextual. Ayan. Then, after breaking the contextual, we came up with level 0. Then, after breaking level 0, we came up with three um, processes. So, ito na yung level 1. Level 1. So, if we're going to break uh, the registrar's office or itong registrar na process, maybe we can come up with three processes, just like my example here. Yan. So here, another process here, another process here, and another process here. Ayan. Okay. So for the, ayan. Okay. So yan. So there it is. Okay. So for the first process here, if you're going to break this one here, so dito, ang ilagyan natin dito is process number 1.1. Yan, dito nakalagay dito 1.1. Okay. Then dito is we have here 1.2. Okay. Why bakit 1.1, 1.2? Because again, they came up with they came from process number 1 in level 1. Yan. Then here, what we're going to write here is 1.3 because this is the third process under the process 1 in level 1. Yan. So, connecting, connect, connect, then connect. Ayan. Okay. Arrange lang natin. Ayan. Then, for the process 2 here, we come up with one process only. Ayan. Lagyan natin dito. Put it here. And then, ayan. Then we're going to um, put a, ano yan? Wait. Mhm. Ayan. Okay. So, yung process identifier dito, ang ilagay natin is what? We're going to put here 2.1 because it came from process number 2 in level 1. I mean, yeah, this is the first process in level 2. That's why 2.1. Ayan. Then, in my example again, okay. So, in level 1 process 3, we broke it, then we come up with another two processes. So, ilagay natin dito, level 1 process 3. Yan. Okay, so I'm going to put the process identifier here as 3.1 because it came from process number 3 in level 1. And I'm going to label it here also process 3.2 because it came from process number 3 in level 1 and this is the second process. Ayan. Then connect again. Yeah, that's what I like with the visual paradigm because it arranges automatically. Ayan, okay. Then, so here we have with the contextual diagram. Then we have here the level 0. Then we have here the wait, level 1 here. Okay. And level 1. Then we have here the level 2. Now, if any of these processes are still breakable, we are going to break it. But if not, then so be it. So here, in my example, uh, level 2 process 1, this one here, it cannot be break. Can we break? Uh, Same thing here. Pero yung process 1.3, pwede pa siya. So that's why here, we're going to add another level, which is level 0, 1, 2, level 3. Okay, yan. So here, i-connect natin. We're going to connect this one here. Yan. Okay. Then, it should be labeled um, 1.3.1. Again, because it came from process 1.3. Ayan. And this is the first process under 1.3. That's why 1.3.1. Ayan. Okay. Then, um, dito meron rin siyang level 3. Okay. Process 3.1. Ayan. So, we're going to put here, we're going to label it process, um, ano ba yun? 3.1.1. Again, why 3.1.1? Because it came, this is the first process under process 3.1. Ayan. Then, kukonect natin. So, those are the yan, examples of the levels of DFD. So, that's how are you going to number, well, that's how you're going to label here yung mga numbering. It's very important, by the way, to for you to use the correct numbering. Okay, very important siya. Okay, so that's why here I taught you how to number uh, processes. The same thing with the um, data stores. Same thing lang yan. It should be properly numbered. It should be properly labeled. Okay? So I hope you understand my explanation with regards to how you're going to use the or to draw the DFD. Don't worry because meron pa tayong part 2 in this topic, and that's gonna be happening soon. So bye bye and God bless.